We actually read something online just before we started the full-time show about how Man City are ready to splash 200 million on Kylian Mbappe.
It would be fantastic if, I mean, Manchester City are always going to get linked to these kind of mega deals because of the way that the club wants to project itself, where it wants to be. It wants to win the Champions League. And I would imagine this could have also been, if you're looking at, we've all worked in the media, how little rumours start, is that Pep Guardiola is going to need to be kept at the club. He's had, 3 seasons? This is his 4th. He's talked about signing an extension, a longer-term contract, 4, 5, 6 years. Is that for him, there's no doubt, he's been very ruthless in the transfer market. If players haven't worked, he's brought other players in. And they are going to have to, at some stage in the next 2 or 3 years, you would think, replace the irreplaceable, which is Sergio Aguero. So Mbappe, if it was 200 million, I think that would be a bargain. City could find that down the back of their sofa at the Etihad Stadium. So I could see that one running. It'd be fantastic for the Premier League as well.
But what he has to do now and what they want to do is win the Champions League. But Premier League comes first, but the Champions League is the one that he wants now. Are they good enough to win the Champions League? I think they are. I mean, I think they're a phenomenal team. I really do.
Now, Stan, you were saying that he would replace Aguero, but do they really need Mbappe at the minute, right now?
Not right this minute, but we'd probably be. It's not going to happen in January because big players just don't move in January. It's very, very rare. Next season, let's say that Manchester City have won the title again or come second if somebody else, a Liverpool or a Chelsea, have challenged, and they've got to a semi-final or a final of the Champions League and it hasn't quite worked. I think that then you're having to sell to Pep Guardiola a reason to stay longer.
There's a problem though as well, Stan. You've got to remember there's a problem, and that's what they might be looking at. Sterling's up next season and hasn't signed a new contract. They are very ruthless, Man City. If they don't come to an agreement with him shortly, I think they may... Well, because they're not going to let him run down the clock and let him go for nothing. When the likes of Real Madrid are looking and whatever, they'll get him out the door.
I think it also depends on how Jesus develops as a player.
Yeah.
You know, he's a very young, talented Brazilian player at the club who I think they bought...
Would you say he's an out-and-out striker, though? I know he is... But is he? I mean, he is in the sense that he's played in that slot, but he could also arguably play left or right of a 3, whereas Mbappe, he's one of the last line of people like me that are looking at through Premier League teams and teams across the world, say, where are the out-and-out specialists in front of goal? And he is one of those. So Mbappe, but then again...
Mbappe doesn't stay up the park all the time. He operates wide, he operates deeper.
But you'd imagine in a Manchester City system with, you've got the likes of Bernardo Silva and Jesus and Sterling and all these other players around him that he could play as... But the issue and the problem would be is that whereas the Galactico system perhaps hasn't worked for Manchester United, one club it has worked for spectacularly is Real Madrid, and he's a massive Real Madrid fan. By all accounts. And you could imagine that Real Madrid already are looking at the chequebook and saying, Cristiano Ronaldo's gone, we need the next big name, who is that? And that's Mbappe. And even now, with Pep Guardiola at Manchester City, you ask 99% of players, you can play for Real Madrid or you can play for Manchester City, you're going to go to Real Madrid. It comes along once in a lifetime.
No argument.